Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you see me clearly?
Yeah, we can see you, ma'am. Rubel, is it
Yeah,
fine
yeah.
with the students?
Yes, yes. We are fine with the students.
So it's wonderful to be here. What a pleasure to interact with all of you, future engineers and future entrepreneurs. Well, it's a great day for me because while I join you today, right now here in India, it's 6:45. And I can tell you that today I moderated a business forum that happened between Israel and India. And we discussed so much about tech innovation, entrepreneurship, and young guys like you as to how we can incubate, people with original ideas. So while I am I'm very excited about this session. I'm a little, tied up because of the session. I'm a little tired, but what I'm going to ask you is that you keep me engaged and shoot me as many questions as possible because I'm more than happy to, brainstorm with youngsters like you. You know, where tech disruption starts when we say IoT or where we say big data or where we say, artificial intelligence, where we say predictive modeling, where we say augmented reality, where we say virtual reality. I would love questions that intrigue my intellect also. That's about me. Now, quickly, in 3 lines, I always tell this to all my uh, listeners before I start that I've curated 4 companies and 2 of them are extremely successful. Fourth one is Indian Women Institution League. And my journey started in a very modest way. I started the reception of an ad agency in a very small state in India, in Chandigarh. And from there, I my first stipend was 3,500 bucks. INR, you can understand. And today, I'm very proud to tell you that I employ 400 people in India. So that is my journey. And I've been very lucky. God has given me this opportunity. And today, we're going to talk about entrepreneurship and tech disruption with all of you. I'm going to share my screen before I begin and say anything else. So we're going to talk about what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? What makes an entrepreneur? So what when you pick up the Economic Times here in India or any entrepreneurial blog there in Dubai, and you look at people in Boston or any other places or who are like doing fast forward innovation, all of us are motivated to be entrepreneurs, and that's a very good thing because Modi is also saying make in India, do make in India and manufacture in India, and because entrepreneurs are the backbone of any economy. But I always say this to all the students who are listening to me across India. I must have done almost like 50 to 60 programs by now. Do not become an entrepreneur just because you want to be, others are becoming entrepreneurs. You need to be an entrepreneur because you have the internal conviction and gut, and that you don't, this journey is not for the faint hearted. This journey is for those who are willing to make a change in the society, whether it is social impact, who are willing to think new ideas, who are willing to swim against the tide. During my journey of 20 years, I worked with 100 plus brands, and I must have lost about $500,000 in a forgery scam. And I was practically out of my clients 3 years ago. So this is an ups and downs journey, and only when we see a solution to a caveat in the society, when you say that you can make a practical, genuine difference to people around you, then is the right time to be an entrepreneur. What does it take to be an entrepreneur? I've already told you about me, what I do. I'm very happy to tell you I've written a book on digital transformation. Surprisingly, now let's not get shocked. All of you listening to me, I'm a BSc Home Science graduate, but I've written a book on digital innovation. And I've been debating at different platforms, including IIT, Department of Management Studies in India. And this has been so much fun. This journey has been so much fun. Find your Kai, or what is say? Find your chi. Can anybody answer this question for me? What exactly is Kai or chi? What is your Kai? Anybody? I would love this session to be more, energetic. I want people throwing answers at me and questions at me. What is your Kai? Anyone? Rubal,
Ma'am,
Ma'am, is
what
it
do
a
you
way?
mean by Kai?
Yeah, yeah. So when I say chi, that is your inner energy. You heard Sadhguru saying inner engineering? How many of us have heard inner engineering? So when I say your passion, why have you landed? We wanted to be engineers. Of course, we want to become something. Either I'll be an entrepreneur or I'll do a multinational job and I'll have a heavy, package, or maybe file for patents. That is the thing that comes to us. But what is your central core? Are you cut out for a startup? Are you cut out for a multinational job? What is your Kai? Are you cut out for a sales job? Do you really want to do it? So what I say is, when you do what you love, and when you love what you do, it plays on you. And that is nothing but stems out of your gut, which is your passion. So find your passion, find your gut, is what I'll tell to all 78 of you who I'm watching on my screen. Entrepreneurship goes with conviction, not just because most of the people around us are doing this. We are not supposed to do it. If he's learning Python, I'm going to learn Python. No, negative. My creative instinct is different. I'm a far more creative person. I can make matters. I can make creativity better. So what I'll do is I'll go with my passion, with my flow. How many of you read this book, Jonathan Livingston Seagull? Anybody in this forum having read this book by what is the author? I've forgotten. But tell me, has anybody read this book? Rubal, do we have any front runners who'd like to talk to me? Keep talking to me.
Abhilash?
Okay, never mind.
Not yet, ma'am. We haven't read this book
So this
yet.
is only a 850 pages book. Read it. It's about this seagull who does his own journey, finds his own trajectory, finds his own path, and he refuses to blend in the herd. I don't care. I don't really care if the half the world is doing something and I want to know. I'll do what I think will I do best, no matter what. I will not do it just because my parents want me to do it. I will not do it just because the world's moving that side. No, I'll find my Kai. I will be Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I'll build my own trajectory. Read. If you like this book, you'll remember me for the rest of your life because you never lose your path. And the path is the main thing when you say. So I'm going to come to high ends. I'm going to talk about the entrepreneurial landscape. I'm going to talk about clean tech, agri tech, fintech, you name it. We're going to talk about it. But first, basics in place. Basics correct. That is the deal. And if I can really even make an iota of difference in this forum when talking to you guys, I'm very fortunate to do it. You take a plunge when you weigh your pros and cons. Now, what are your pros and cons when I say? Let's start with this. We all know who John Chambers is, yes? All the techies out there. There's a loud shout out to all the technology lovers. I'm talking to Bates Pilani, Dubai. At least 40% of all businesses will die in the next 10 years if they don't figure out how to change their entire company to accommodate new technologies. When I say new technologies, that means cannibalization. Now you'll say, is this woman mad? What is she talking? When I say cannibalization in corporates, or when I say, what is the right word? The better word, the more formal or respectful word is digital transformation, which I say stitching of the processes in one go towards making a smart enterprise. So if your company is not thinking about investing into these technologies, which is towards creating a smart city, smart company, through digital transformation, stitching everything in a suit, in the sense that stitching everything in a full circle, then you're going to be outdated. You might think, no, we disagree. Why do you disagree? Look at Intel. Just 10 years ago, they were so innovative. They still have to tell me something new. Like, I think they're fading out. Sorry, this is only my perspective. Nobody has said that officially. But I'm saying Apple was not there 10 years ago. See the innovation they've done. Tesla, 10 years? Look at it. They go to space. Amazon, spending in R&D. Look at these new guys, yeah? Paytm, Vijay Shekhar Sharma. Baiju's. Who else do you think are really front runners? Front runners. There's this Hyderabad-based company that has invented a space outlet, the space engine, they can do the same thing that this guy is doing, what Elon Musk is doing, at almost half the cost. We call that innovation. But that only happens when you're steered by your passion to do something. This guy knew he can do it at half the cost of what Elon Musk is doing. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name. I'll mention it in the next slides. Let's get digitally creative and disruptive. Are you ready, guys? Come on, I want to hear a loud applause so that I know I'm not talking to the screen and this MacBook that I'm looking at. Are you with me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Ma'am.
Wonderful. 4 things as future entrepreneurs or future workers who will be very, very powerful. 4 things that will make you a different person, because you have to understand. 1, one-to-one customer centricity. Profile your customers. That is number 1. Number 2, innovation. Innovation not just in work, innovation in your persona, your personality. There are 79 people on my screen last that I saw. I don't know how many are there. Okay, I see many of them gone, but many of them in. So if there's so many people on the screen that I saw, how do you distinguish between this? How do you distinguish to be different from the herd? Why would any company hire you, another person sitting next to you? So innovation, that is a USP. Personalization. What is personalization? Localization. As I said, I've been talking this too. You may go for your grocery shopping to Amazon, or you may go for your grocery shopping to the modern bazaars. I don't know what groceries you go in Dubai, but when your local vendor knows you pretty well and knows your buying patterns, that is going to stay. Personalization and customization is going to survive. So 4 things: customer centricity, C, I, innovation, P, personalization, C, customization. CIPC. Get ready for this. This is the 10 things that are going to invade the next decade. So assume that you're looking for that software engineering job. It changes. Hey, I'm going to learn coding. Big deal. It's going to be outdated. 2 years and you're not even there. How will you get ready for this kind of a challenge? Because coding is going to be automated. Yes, for those who are learning coding, let me tell you, coding gets automated in the next 2 to 3 years, maximum 4 maybe. So how are you ready to scale through that? How are you preparing yourselves to mitigate that change, to be mutable? That is how it is. I'm sorry, there are firecrackers out there. There's some people who are still bursting firecrackers next to my house. Big data. Of course, everybody, are you all aware with the big data? Like, do you understand how data helps us? How many of you are working with data, big data sets on different platforms, on different dashboards? Are there people in this forum who are working with big data as a technology tool? Hey, I'm really wanted to listen to some ITNs. Like, I'm really looking at interacting, so that I don't get a feeling that I'm talking to this machine and I'm just sitting and looking at myself. But anyways, cloud computing, social media, virtual stores, subscription-based models. Shoot a question if you want an answer, and I'm happy to brainstorm it with you. 3D printing, robots, this is all going to take the center stage.
Hi, ma'am. I want to ask a question about social media, actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, suppose it comes into the marketing side. So, suppose you want to boost a company's upcoming event, or it's a startup basically. So they want to boost on their company's, it's a like online learning center, and they wanted to gain more students, and they put up a future camp poster. So they are not trying to gain students, and suppose they want to gain more students, and their only marketing option is using the promote option in social media like Instagram and Facebook, but still they are not getting any positive response. What would you say would like be like a tactic for a good response in the social media side?
देखो मैं आपको बताती हूँ जो सबसे बड़ी बात है कि पहला सवाल है I'm going to switch in Hindi also in between. I'm sorry. I'm so I hope most of you understand Hindi, but first is your content appealing to your audiences? What they are expecting out of you and what you're delivering? That is a basic question that needs to be addressed, because you have so much competition. You have EDX, you have Coursera. How do you compete there? Number 1. We also have the CIIs and FICIs of the world doing. Number 2, you should be populating blogs on the marketing tools and marketing websites. That's 1. You should be building your SEO. your search engine optimization. I see a lot of noise somewhere coming. I request you to kindly mute it. I see the keys of the machine being flipped. Apart from that, uh, I would request you to do lots of native advertising, contextual advertising. We have so many automated tools now in marketing that have come. There were 100 plus tools that you can talk to me separately about. And if the content is good, you can come to us and we're going to help you to market. Because what we are looking for content, we don't have any marketing deviance. We're looking for content to populate in India. For such, course content. So trust me, if you have something like that, we would help you promote it. And that just comes as a help. We are not charging you a penny. That's one. The second thing that I want to tell you is that we have also curated an event on the 28th. It's a hackathon for if you have a new age idea, if you have any idea that you want to begin entrepreneurial journey by learning to pitch. How to pitch to an investor. I would invite you to join us on the 28th for a proper pitch deck, which we call a pitch deck competition or a pitch deck invitation I'm giving you. That if you have a great idea, it's just a idea stage, or it is uh, MVP stage, whatever, or it is an established company. Either of the three stages, you're most welcome to come and pitch your idea in front of a set of investors that come from Hong Kong and Singapore and US and UK. We have about 15 odd people on the board. So that answers your question. Was it Abhilash? Who was that? The question was
Yes,
asked.
ma'am. Yeah, I was the one who asked the question, Abhilash.
Okay. So Abhilash, if you want to do it, as I said, programmatic, search engine marketing, SEO, everything in balance. Next tool is Google AdWords. Are you working on Google AdWords?
Excuse me, ma'am. Rupal, I think there's a lot of noise coming around. I don't know who's that person is.
Can you not mute since you have the admin right?
We have. I'm
I
just
don't.
checking it out.
Takes
Yeah.
time, but we don't know where the sound is coming
Yeah,
from.
I think
You can mute.
Anamika and Shobal. Anamika is on unmute mode.
My audio.
Ma'am, you have
Okay, great. I'm good. Okay, guys. So look at these. This is an interesting snapshot that I came across a while ago. And I thought, why not share with my students? Look at this. The kind of job they're going to pay. Space pilot. Don't be surprised. It's a krimla the krim. The word is the top shots in the paid industry. Why? Because they're just not pilots. They you could have physicists, you could have space engineers kind of a thing flying the space pilots, the space shuttles. Because what is going to happen in the next 5 years is not five, let it be three. We're going to see space tourism as a making money, good money making opportunity. Then data detectives. Now that's a little dramatic, but I do see data cybersecurity trends coming in a very big way, and we'll have people innovating jobs around that. We would have, if I was to go to a little ethical source manager, nah, I don't agree. I'll say companion for the aged, yes. Indian population, more than 50% youngsters. So definitely this is something that is going to be a burgeoning trend in India. And of course, the other geographies of the world. IT service broker, obviously, yes, with edge computing coming in, with new innovations coming in IT services, cloud is going to be localized and we'll have jobs around cloud. Then what else? UX designer, yes. AI specialist, obviously, big yes. 3D printing, 100%. I've seen people printing legs and ears with
Hi,
it.
ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, one question. How is 3D printing in the current market now valuable according to it?
It is there. I'll be very honest with you, but people are not using it per se. So it's in like very niche areas like medicine. We see people, we see an innovation, and I just mentioned legs. People are creating ears. People are creating 3D printing. Of course, is being used, but it has to be cheaper in terms of being mass adoption, in terms of coming for mass adoption. So the cost needs to come down. That is the challenge. But trust me, 3D printing at niche places is doing wonders, where their cost is not a problem and it is very highly specifically technical. There, 3D printing is doing a wonderful job.
Ma'am, what do you think whether 3D printing's price, the mass production price will come down or not?
It will, 100%.
Ma'am, will it be profitable for the company for using 3D printer? Because right now the cost is kind of high and companies They want to make more profit.
Mm.
So if you use 3D printing, how about the profit for a company?
Tell you one thing. You know how expensive data was about 10 years ago? Data bandwidth and data, like especially the buying data was data bandwidth versus. So telecom, people made a lot of money, and see how the prices decline. As we go ahead, we'll have newer technologies coming in this particular echelon, which are far cheaper for mass adoption. I'll give you a small, very funny, but this is a very, Tesla wants to come to India, right? People can't afford Tesla ka gadi, so they are coming for with a cheaper version, which people like us can buy, cheaper version, right? So 3D printing is not a far-fetched play, Baba. It's going to be, don't be surprised, 10 kilometers, you'll have 5 factories running very shortly. But only thing is material cost, machine cost, vendor distribution model, logistics model, manufacturer of the, not just the logistic, the material has to minimize. And then you see how and we need to have indigenous production. I don't think the material is indigenous as of now. A lot of stuff is getting imported when we create this architecture. So it's good. I like the questions coming. Keep coming, just love it, because I also intrigued. Yeah.
Ma'am, you're talking about data being widely used now, but 10 years back it wasn't used because many companies weren't using, many people weren't using.
I understand that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It is sparse. Now it's mass adoption. Everybody wants, I'm using data while I talk to you, while I ping it on my machine.
Exactly. So the price is less now. But
price less
in case of 3D printing,
yeah,
it's not so. There is material coming into use, manufacturing, the equipments, all those things.
Absolutely. So economies of scale, that's what we call in business economics in IMBS, they taught us. So more the quantity, now the data is flowing like heaps. It's the gold. You are talking to me, I'm talking to you. So many guys, data is being served and stored. Now, the cost automatically comes down because the availability is very high. But then we are looking for structured, meaningful data. We are not looking for junk data. And structured data is gold. That is where the price is high, because it is structured, formatted, value-added, meaningful data. Who was I talking to? I would like to know.
I'm Shobal Roy.
Sorry? Shobal. Shobal? Wonderful. Love talking to you. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So guys, if I've answered, I would be open. If you want to ask anything, I'm happy. But then these 10 technologies are going to be changing the dynamics. I partially agree with this screenshot, although it's mine. But yeah, 5, 6 of them, space pilot, bingo. Data detective, bingo. Yes. AI specialist, 100%. Companion for the aged, bingo. 3D printing, yes. Digital rehabilitation, yes. AI designer, absolutely yes. IT service broker, sure. Ethical source manager, need to check. Okay, let's come to this. This is kind of a rundown slide, so I'm just going to give you this. But it's a beautiful example of how people have made money. Many businesses have gone bust in COVID. I always show this slide because this is my homegrown business. And they've done 500,000 in 2 months, just because they had the first movers advantage, they had the right opportunity, the right environment to sell, and the right TG on their fingertips because of digital enablement, and see how well they've done. So the moral of the story, when you look at this slide, is launch a business when you see it, where you see it, and then connect it digitally, which is like the front runner. Brick and mortar doesn't run anymore. I hope you interpret what I'm saying, guys. Do you? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we come to the digital disruption matrix. When we say the digital disruption matrix, look at this. By 2019, 22% of brands will use bots. 20% of all activities on individual engages with correspond to the top 7 digital giants. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Answer this, please.
Ma'am, what do you mean by bots actually again?
Bots?
Like by 2019, 22% of brands will use bots.
Yes. So, okay. When you say bots, where the virtual assistants, right? When I'm assuming everybody understands bots. If you don't, please shoot a question. And bots is nothing but a virtual assistant which sits in your place as like a computer-aided version of like Alexa bot, who talks to you. Hey, Alexa, good morning. That's nothing but a VA, which can be customized as bots through different models and different shapes and technologies. So when I say by 2019, 22% of brands will use bots, yes, but not the advanced versions. They say, so whenever you go on a website, there's this guy that pings, hello, I'm in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. You going to this website and it just pings, hey, I'm so-and-so. How would you like me to help you? And that is nothing but a simplified version of a bot. And when you come to advanced streams, I think about IBM Watson. That's the Baba of the bots. But that's not a bot. That's basically an automated, a modeling system. But then it has an iota of that VA, which is again the Alexa part. So bots can be different versions. It's nothing but an automated AI-based enabler. Does it answer for you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. 42% of workers will work with AI. Blockchain-based businesses will be worth $10 billion, and 100 million consumers will shop in augmented reality. Now, here's something I'm going to tell you. I want all ears to this. Internet. This is my favorite quote of the day in my session, and that is, internet is going to be replaced by blockchain. You wouldn't believe me. You'll say, oh, what is she saying? Yeah. But we're sitting in the month of November in 2020. If ever any of you thinks this happened, please ping me later. But internet will be replaced by blockchain. Why? Anybody can answer this? Can anyone answer it? Okay, I'll answer that one. That's because a blockchain is far more secure, process-oriented, and forever. Very simple. Like technically, I can explain it to you in a much larger way for 30 odd minutes, but simplest, it's secure, simpler, reliable, and forever. Let's hear from the stalwarts. I'll glide now because I have a lot many slides. You know this guy, but see what he's saying. What's in a degree, babe? Now, Rubel is going to kill me. What is she saying? He says, I don't want you to do a degree. Just come. If you can do it, if you are a techie, if you are the guy, the whiz kid, you come and work with me. Does that inspire you to do something?
Oh, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, yes. He actually in one of Elon Musk's interview, what he meant by this was that, he has met people who are having degrees, but not the particular set of intelligence or skill required to do that job. But there are people who knows the skill and intelligence to do that thing, but without a degree.
Correct. So here's what I'm trying. I'll bridge it for you. The new education policy in India. Let's come back to India. You have to stress on skill development, not bookish knowledge. That's what he's trying to say. So who cares about the physics chapter? Like my daughter's in 12th and she's studying thick books in physics. I said, it's not going to help you. You're going to be learning a new skill set every now and then to keep afloat in the tech industry. That's what he's saying. Skill-based vocational occupation, which is like, hey, I don't care if you're a double postgraduate, a triple postgraduate, even if you're a young guy who's got very unique idea. How many of you heard of this guy? He's been given $12 million in funding. I don't know the entire thing. I got to read through that. But this guy, a pretty young guy with his own ideas. And does anybody know about that? And can anybody talk about that here in this forum? So here's the thing. Intel has been, not Intel, most of the companies under their innovation programs have been rewarding kids and, early evangelists like you who have great ideas. And he's been funded $12 million, barely out of school, man. So that's the deal. Skill. This guy is the ideas guy. Everybody knows well, I do this in most of my sessions, so I don't want to repeat it because my team listens. But here's what I'm going to say. He did this on a drive, I think, from between Seattle and New York. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sitting on the left-hand side of his wife, and he's going to be a trillionaire in the next 3 years. Well, I'll give you a flip side, which is not appropriate for this forum, and that is that his employees are underpaid. You know why? Well, everybody's cursing him. He doesn't pay. He's going to be a trillionaire because he invests in research and development in a big, big way. I don't think so. He knows a jack about space tourism, but the kind of money he's putting in to create more money is intelligible. I mean, that's very, very That's an intelligent thought from an entrepreneur. So he says, we've had 3 big ideas at Amazon that we are stuck with for 18 years, and they're the reason we are successful. Idea, idea, idea. Invention, innovation, and skill. Nothing in the degrees, as far as I'm concerned. I'm a BSc Home Science graduate, guys. I'm not ashamed to tell you that. I'm very proud because I had a love for digital innovation, for technology. I'm a techie at heart, in and out. So that's what. You got to see what you are good at if you want to be. So for me, if Modi ji is doing a very good thing in Atmanirbhar Bharat, what I tell my the students who listen to me is that you don't have to do it because they're asking you to do it. Do it because you want to do it. So finding a meaningful caveat, that is one. Okay, the answer to a question, a solution. This is the answer to becoming an entrepreneur. This is what this session is all about. Take a look at this. This gentleman has acquired a company in India. Anyone? What is that? What is the name of the company? Quickly.
Reliance.
No, he's acquired a company. 3 days back, it was the headline. What was the company and how much has he bought it for? Okay. Anybody? Last call out 5 seconds. Break in. The company that he bought is Urban Ladder.
4%, ma'am. 4% stake in Urban Ladder.
Yeah, so he's taken a stake in Urban Ladder. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that he's bought his stake in Urban Ladder at 182 crores. And how much has Urban Ladder raised? In a series of funds. Somebody who answered that question, please answer this also. How much fund has been raised by Urban Ladder?
Ma'am, I think around $1 billion, ma'am.
About 770.
He's more rich now.
Who?
Like 183 crores, ma'am.
Sorry?
Like 182 crores.
182 crore he spent. And how much, what was the company, what is the funding that the company has raised? Initially, prior to his offering. Around 773 crores. So what I'm saying is that this is a wonderful, but here's what I'm going to say. I have really got to check back on that 4% that you're saying because I have a deflection on that. I would like to come back because I've been missing the newspapers because of this Israel event. But the talk is that the company has raised 773 CR and now it goes out for 182 CR. So see the series, so much funding has gone into it. Whether it is viable or not, I leave that to you decide. But I'm glad a lot of people are engaged. Fun. Now, come on. I beckon you and I dare you to get engaged. That's fun. This guy, he started small and his mom used to do something in the hangars where the planes used to stand and he was so intrigued.
Virgin, ma'am. Virgin technology. Virgin, yeah.
So you have to tell me
Virgin
how
Airlines.
many businesses is he running? How many businesses is he running right now? Just not the fleet or the aircrafts. What all is he doing?
Ma'am, the radio, Virgin Radio.
Okay.
Then
And the latest one is we start with CDs, I guess. So lots, about 6-7 slew of businesses. I'm sorry I'm drained out because I've had a very heavy session today afternoon, 2:30 to 4:30, but there are 6 businesses he's running. And the last one that I heard, which he was criticized for because he said he almost, spent a hell lot of money. There's space flight.
ma'am, is it like the space flight program in his company?
You said it. That's so
Galactic.
I'm glad. Yes, absolutely. See, हमारा इंडिया भी है पीछे. Hyderabad startup Skyroot Aerospace, first private company to test rocket engine. We have the potential. We need the infrastructure. I don't know. Out of you, like, I don't know how many children are listening to me. Almost like 35 children. I don't know how you must be thinking about going abroad and looking for multinational jobs, New York, Boston, and so many. But I'd still say that,
Ma'am, can you explain about the Oyo homes, how they manage their business?
If you know the answer, you don't put me a question. I would love to get the answer. I know what are you saying? Oyo, Ritesh Agrawal ka kahani, I know very well. But why don't you answer that for me? You know this answers.
Ma'am, I actually don't know the business strategy that he followed. That's why.
It's very simple. I know that you know the answers. If you're testing me, I love it. But having said that, Ritesh this is how I read it, and this is how what I gave it to you. He was going places, into these startup events across the board. He was attending in and out. He was looking for a good idea. And the problem that he identified, that's in the next slide, in fact, it's going to come. The problem that he identified was, see, look at this is called, what is it called? What is the word for it? I don't know, I can't recall, but he was on the next slide. So before you ask the question, he's there. Weigh your pros and cons. He had a problem. The problem was he did not have hotels, cheap hotels to stay in. The accommodation was super expensive. And he thought, mere jaise kitne hai yaar? So many of them are like me. And I should create an aggregator which sells hotels at a much cheaper price. One, and it also sells the remnant inventory to people who are needy, because many hotels were struggling. They were not fully sold out. So he created a beautiful model, and that model was later funded. It was funded by SoftBank, guys, on your right on the screen, Mayoshi Son of SoftBank. I don't know, they're pulled out, I guess, of late, or maybe a stake they're pulled out, I don't know. But this is a fantastic journey. This guy is barely in his 30s, and I envy him. He's done so well for himself. Kudos. Extremely well. Because he...
Ma'am, didn't OYO get a down round during COVID because of losses?
Yes.
And didn't they cut 40% of their workforce around the world?
Yes, but here's the thing. Be ready for I told you in the beginning, it's not for the faint-hearted. The truth is, the best part is that this guy has an idea. And his early 20s, when most of us are just graduating from college and thinking, kya karna hai bhai, sochte hain. This guy he's right now he was a billionaire about a couple of months ago, before COVID. Of course, they've had a down. Every business has suffered. Every business has bled. But don't worry, they all recuperate. Many of them have shut down. But then, wahi to zindagi hai, usi ko to entrepreneurship bolte. How do you mitigate? I said mitigate. When I showed you that the oxygen thing, what is the term here? The COVID snapshot that I showed you is that you mitigate, check your risk, take the plunge, and change your business completely according to the first mover's advantage, right? Are you with me, guys? Or like, do you second that? Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Look at this.
Yes, ma'am.
All of them are based LA, USA, Israel. I had a fantastic discussion I wish I could share with you, but these are all AI-based startups. And AI-based startups does not necessarily mean deep tech. It can mean agri-tech. I don't know how many of you, somebody was mentioning to me just yesterday, there's this guy in Simla. So his parents sent him to, if you've read about him, his parents sent him to Chandigarh to study, and he's done his engineering. And what he's done is he's covered his fences with the IoT sensors all across. So IoT integrated. So he waters the plants through the sensors. He waters and he barricades his field through sensors. Imagine that. See the fun. So engineering करने के बाद ऐसा good solution कोई बनाता है. So this is amazing work. So this is a stack of startups that I borrowed from the West for you to see. AI 100, the top 100 startups in artificial intelligence. I'm sure this slide is powerful enough to motivate any of you who is in the pursuit of being an entrepreneur, especially who understands AI coupled with data engineering, like AI. How many of you have heard of Andrew G? Anyone here? Andrew G.
No, ma'am.
What? This guy. So to all those who are listening to me, you must attend a course from this gentleman. Amazing is the word. If you're really wanting to learn artificial intelligence in a basic format, he'll clear your basics like crazy. One of the best, that's what I say, AI. And then 3 things that rule the roost: collaboration, connectivity, communication. Yes, guys, that is the backbone of digital transformation. Collaboration, the glue that sticks people and organizations together. It helps build connections based on shared objectives and views. So collaboration, connectivity, communication. You have a question? Shoot. I'm a little this thing, but I don't want to bore you. So this, ये सामने दिख रहा है, आप देखिए अगर कुछ आपको, but AI is going to grow into a $190 billion industry by 2025. I always tell it to my team, I'm telling you that 25 applications on your cell phones, as you see, that are based on AI and that you don't even know. You're already using VR in your homes and in your mobiles, but we hardly pay attention. We're so used to it. It's become hygiene. Take a look at this. This is one of my favorite slides because I made it with lots of creativity. The digital highway. One, virtual experiences. 100% virtual experiences are going to be game changers. The roller coaster, the central core of every pursuit in the next decade that you prepare to be entrepreneurs or multinational workers, whichever way you take. Hyperlocal channels, indigenous channels, shared service business models, collaborative tools. Tell me one collaborative tool that you're using right now in your daily life. A penny for your thoughts, please. One collaborative tool that you're using in your life. Anyone? No one? None. Anyways, e-commerce frenzy, sell products online. Yes, obviously, you don't have to go door to door now. Just sit here and sell stuff in US and Canada and make money. Only if you know how to curate it, yeah? Process automation, completely automated processes. You have robots sweeping your floors, robots selling in retail. That's the magic, that's the game. Are you with me? Was it self-explanatory? Did I skip anyone on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Digital journeys, how do we do that digitally? Process benchmarking. You want to be an interesting contributor to your company. You want to be an interesting entrepreneur, a powerful entrepreneur. Processes, build processes. Identify entrepreneurial opportunities. Look for that idea that motivates you to go all out, that does not let you sleep at night. You have an idea. If I'm seeing 35 on my screen, at least 10 of you are thinking about a powerful idea right now. Profiling your customers, know where to find your customers, how, where, when. If you have the answers, bingo, be ready. Get ready on the highway. Use great CRM solutions. Profile, keep your customers in a lock and key with the CRM solutions and create nurturing marketing journeys. Build great data repositories. That is important. Create, save your data and use marketing automation. Automate your marketing. Cut down the cost for your marketing team. Cultivate a culture of collaboration. That's super duper important. Nidhi, would you want to knock me on the time? Whenever I'm supposed to break in, tell me, we'll run.
Yeah, absolutely, Rupal. It's 7:21 by the time,
Yes.
and I think 5 or 7 minutes
Yes.
would be okay for if any of the question
Yeah.
is there from your
I
side.
would love to.
Yeah.
And guys, I'll be very fortunate to have questions from your end because I'll be happy if you set me thinking tonight and read through my archives that what have I missed. So analytics, intelligence, project management, sales enablement, CMS, marketing automation, CRM. What is this? This is a company dynamic. This is my company packed in the digital stratosphere. This is how I put my company in the cloud. And I integrate through digitization, which I call the process benchmarking. You have hundreds and thousands of tools to do it. And I'm sure the moment you step out of your college, you'll be not just step out, you'll within the college, if you do your last project, I'm sure you commission a project at the end of your degree. Is that so, guys? Correct me. You do that? There is a submission
Yes,
process.
yes. Yes, ma'am.
You will see that a part of it. You can make this a part of that. That'll stand you a good stead. A few examples on how the future of technology shapes up in the coming years. This is fun. These are some of my favorite slides. So wake up, do not sleep. I'm sure I've not let you sleep. Facebook's new analytics product will help retailers, brands analyze. All of us know how Donald Trump won. Sorry if I'm sounding very negative, but because he influenced people through social media. Agree, disagree, guys? Bingo.
Agreed, ma'am.
Absolutely. So Cambridge Analytica, say that. Mark Zuckerberg. I'm very proud to tell you, I've been to the Menlo campus on Facebook. I've been to the Boston, Massachusetts. I've seen students there, inventing fiber materials. I was pretty intrigued. They had footprints on Barack Obama on social media and versus this guy, what is his name? Back then, who was contending? I don't know. So they had a predictive modeling put as a scanner. That was right there to show that, this is how, what was the footprint on the social media footprint? What was it? What does it look like? So some of the things that have really fascinated on my trip to US for the GES summit, when I'm lucky, very lucky to go to the World Bank, to go to OPEC. So luckily I've had that exposure in my life. And virtual store, IKEA or IKEA? What is it, guys? Because I always call it IKEA and my cousin says IKEA. So what is it?
IKEA.
See, so I'm not wrong. So this is how, so people in COVID, especially here, right across the road. How many of you are from Delhi or surrounding areas? The 35 on my screen. How many from Delhi? 36 now. How many of you from Delhi? None?
I'm from Haryana.
Arey wah, yaar. I'm sitting in Faridabad, yaar, abhi. Just corner of Delhi, 0 kilometers, but nice. Who's this? Rubal.
Rubel.
अरे
Yeah.
यार हाँ आपको दुबई में पकड़ा हमने जाके.
हाँ.
Okay, facial recognition. Guys, I am a 43-year-old woman sitting in front of you, and I'm so proud to tell you I built a facial recognition engine myself with a Chinese developer last year. I did it for my company, and I enjoyed it. I used Anaconda. I used one more tech. So there are 3 technologies that I put together, and I built a facial recognition engine. So that makes me as fresh and vibrant and bright as you guys, like right in the ready to, build new products. Are you fascinated about building new products? Say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Oh,
Awesome. How many of you read that speech? This guy, what's his name? Sundar Pichai, Kharagpur. What was that? Where is he graduated from? IIT Kharagpur, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you heard the speech? किसी ने सुना है वो speech?
no, ma'am.
अरे यार मैं तो
No, ma'am.
IIT में नहीं हूँ. मैं तो मतलब थोड़ा चले. I'm not. आप लोग तो बिट्स पिलानी से हो भाई. सुनो वो बड़ा बहुत inspiring speech है, मजेदार. This guy used to be a porter for his team, for his colleagues, for his hostel mates, and see, he gets an annual salary package of 200 crores, maybe more यार. 2000 तो नहीं है क्या? 200 crore मुझे पता है उसका salary है अभी. कैसे बना वो? By curating a product for Google, that is Google Mail. Yeah. That's it. There's robotic process automation. I have a lot of noise at the back, so I'm going to just dispel.
Ma'am, you are on mute right now.
I don't know why I've been muted. Abhishek, are you there? Copy.
And the same has been done.
Okay. So 3D virtual dressing room, see, and robots. So be ready. They're going to be the next operation. Couple of years. No doctors, please. Doctors, yes, but only watching from just one guy you might need. We'll see how the
Ma'am,
robot.
one of the listeners, Anamika, has a doubt. She posted in the chat box actually.
Please tell me what is the doubt. Please tell me what is the doubt. Tell me, I'm more than answer. Anamika, please speak up. It's a small session and I'd love to hear you. What is the doubt? Is Anamika there?
Ma'am, I had a doubt. Like, if we got an idea, how to start working on it? Like, I got an idea. What to do next?
अरे एक बात सुनो दोस्त, ये डाउट नहीं है, सवाल है, बहुत अच्छा सवाल है. तो बहुत सिंपल है इसको. एक घर जाओ, when you're at home or you're you in your hostel or wherever you're staying, take a A4 size sheet. I've been telling this in a session. I just did a session in Bhopal. I told them, take a A4 size sheet tonight. Sit just quiet around you. Nobody bothers you. Just focus what you want to do in life. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. And then write down, what do I want to do in my career journey, and of course what do I want to do in my personal life. उसके बाद वायबिलिटी देखो. एक आइडिया है, आइडिया मेरे साथ अलग से डिस्कस करना चाहते हो करो. I will, which is viability. उसकी डिस्कस करेंगे, whether I have the funds, whether my idea will have competition, whether unique enough. If I get the funds, how will I get the funds? And if you have a great idea, come and pitch on the 28th if you already have a PPT deck ready. I call you, I'll invite you to be, because I'm judging that panel along with 15 other investors. I'll be happy for you to come.
Ma'am, how to register for that?
Nidhi, you know what to do, buddy. Who's
Yes.
speaking, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Your good name?
Bharat.
Bharat, get in touch with Nidhi. She has a link. She'll give it to you. Register tonight itself. And come to us with a deck with your full-fledged idea. We might even curate the deck for you in a way. We'll guide you what to do. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Anybody has any other doubt? Don't call it a doubt.
Ma'am, actually, I do. Ma'am, ma'am, you talk a lot about artificial intelligence, but it comes with a problem. Nowadays, many human labor is being replaced by artificial intelligence. What are your views on that?
It's a good question. This question everybody asks me in every forum. This is my view. The entry-level jobs are all going to swipe. I'm going to wipe away. Not the jobs, the core jobs. What happens that if I'm at step 1, I'll have to upgrade my skill set to step 2. Artificial intelligence, see, there has to be a tender balance. When I say artificial intelligence is going to take the mainstay, yes, it will. But then the kind of jobs and kind of skill sets will also change, you know? Like you just said, data detective. Have you ever heard of this term, data detective? What is this? No. Yeah.
Ma'am, one doubt. If everyone starts coding, then who will do the manual labor?
Yes. So I think that's the best part. See, I'm not a coder. But how I wished I was an engineer. I really wanted to be. And, you know, my dad's a 4G. He's a 4G officer. So my story I'm telling you. So there's no need to be a coder, buddy. Steve Jobs was not the guy who made the product. He was the guy who sold it. I told you, be creative. He knew how to sell it. He knew how to build PR. He knew how to deliver a keynote. That's the deal. Who cares about कैसे बना रहा है, अरे बेचना कैसे है, क्रिएटिविटी कैसे लाना है?
And that's 1 in million, ma'am.
ऐसा नहीं है दोस्त. What are you saying? If Sundar Pichai can be Google CEO and look at powerful CEO that Google founders cannot afford, why can't you be? Why can't I be? We all can be. It's just that there are 4 degrees in life: average, good, excellent, augmented. Yeah, Abhishek सुन रहा है तो उसको हमेशा बोलती हुई है. Abhishek is my colleague. Abhishek, if you're there, so there are 4. Yes, Abhishek, there are 4 degrees: average, good, excellent, augmented. Which one do you like to pick?
Ma'am, I like to pick the topmost one.
Yes. So for the question that you asked, well, who is that? Shobal? You have Shobal. That is your question, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So the answer is clear, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So ऐसा है कि लाइफ में ना अपने को किसी से कम नहीं सोचना है कभी. That's the deal. You are the best. Only thing is आपको वो नहीं करना है जो बाकी लोग कर रहे हैं. What are you good at? Think. That is the deal. कि मैं किसमें, what am I good at? What will I? So when I get up in the morning, if I'm like मुझको नहीं जाना यार काम पे, sorry, that's not for you. Then my team is also listening. If you don't love what you're doing, no point. Do what you love. Morning, get up. पैसा बनेगा. बस प्यार करो अपने काम से. What you do, love it, and money will flow. But you need to find. The challenge is not to do what you do. The challenge is to find what you do. Agree, disagree, guys? Yes or no?
Ma'am, the challenge is to find what you do, but what if we actually find what we have to do? But just say the competition is too high, you don't know where to take the step, then what?
नहीं, एक बात बताओ. एक तो मुझे ना आप लोग यार दिखो तो सही थोड़ा सा. I mean, I'm talking to a machine with names. That's the sad part of this what is it, virtual thing, because on the stage so much fun. So at least I'd like to see you guys. But answering that question, your question was, okay, I'll answer it this way. Science has proved that no 2 human beings in this world are the same. So look at me, the way I speak. I have energized all of you. How many of you agree that you feel energized by my session today? Say yes. I want to hear a yes.
Yes, ma'am.
If you feel inspired by my session, even 1%, that means God has given me that capability that maybe not many other people have, maybe few of us have. How do I channelize it? Now I bundle it with something interesting or innovative. What are you good at? Think about it. Nidhi might be very good at speaking. Abhishek might be very good at social media. What is Shobal good at? Or what is Abhilash good at? Think. That is what you think. You don't think about those thick books your professors give you. Okay, Are padna hai yaar, paper aa raha hai. Oh, come on, that's old style. Think. I can really go in because my daughter's doing the same. She's pursuing non-medical and she wants to do engineering. I said, what are you doing? This is run of the mill. Actualize. Do I love engineering? Do I love mathematics? Do I love, would I love to do statistics? Oh yes, I would love to play with numbers. Then you do it. You don't do it because it fetches a lot of money. Come on. You have to tell your parents also that पैसा आ जाएगा पहले अच्छा बनो. वो कहते हैं ना क्या सॉरी ये वर्ड मुझे इस फॉर्म में यूज नहीं करना चाहिए बट आमिर खान ने एक मूवी में बोला है 3 इडियट्स में कि इतने अच्छे बनो कि कामयाबी झक मार के आपके पीछे आए. सुना है वो डायलॉग आप लोगों ने? How many of you heard that? No one has? Nidhi,
Yes, ma'am.
so that's it. This is my key takeaway. And with that, I'm coming to an end of the session. And I hope that you loved listening to it or maybe liked listening to it. If you do connect me on LinkedIn. I have my LinkedIn address here, right here. Follow me or connect with me for any brainstorm session if you want to. And I'll be more than happy. I'm typing it again for those of you who missed. That's me on LinkedIn. Anything else, guys? More than happy, more than happy to answer questions. Let's brainstorm. We still have 5-10 minutes and then I'll disperse. What were the learnings? Can any of you summarize what is your key takeaway from this session today that I spoke for almost 1 hour? No one? Rubal, what do you think?
Ma'am, I wanted to ask a
Yeah.
question about augmented reality.
Yeah.
Like, it's very rarely heard in this era. Even though when we look deeper, when people will be talking about augmented reality, why hasn't it become famous yet, like on a larger scale?
I think we have not discovered it the way it should be because we already have virtual reality. We have just touched upon virtual reality. That IKEA store you saw, or maybe a virtual reality, when I'm saying is that we're still playing in the realms of VR. Augmented reality is, I think, to my perspective, it's more one level above and used specifically, I think. But there are pieces that are coming up. If you know that Facebook Oculus, and there's lots going to be invented on that sphere also. But then it's not taken seriously because I personally feel if you were to ask me a question on revenue monetization, I would also have to think how is it going to bring in? That's a very good question, in fact, which I got my question tonight. But yes, how do you think it's going to give me monetization? That's a question because VR is already there. I already have the Facebook Oculus Go. I already have the Microsoft virtual, gadgets, and I have other 2 or 3 competitors have come in. So when on Snapchat, when you can put your ears and create those face gestures, that's nothing but your VR. But I still need to find a meaningful use apart from gaming. Gaming is a big deal. If you are an evangelist, a gaming evangelist, you may have a different thought and perspective on that. Yeah, Bilash?
That is there, ma'am, but still, yeah, I get the point.
So that's what I'm saying. Why it does not come? Maybe we need to delve deeper. And apart from gaming, I think augmented reality is used in applications, but I still have to figure out a way to monetize it because to me that question still looms. How would I monetize when I already have VR? How would I monetize VR, AR? That is how it is. Do we get it, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else? Or we conclude the session now. Somebody says Shobal is good at music. Well, I love that. I wish my session was about singing. so that is how it is. Thank you. Yeah, I love it. This is Albin. Thank you for your inspiring session. Well, thanks a lot. I loved it too. Do connect on LinkedIn for more such anecdotes and conversations. And with that, Nidhi, I think I come to conclusion of my session. Rubal, thank you so much for the opportunity and all the children.
Deepa, thank you so much.
A very warm good evening to all of you.
Yeah.
It was wonderful knowing all of you. Thanks and good evening.
Yeah. So we can leave the session now, Abhilash. Okay.